Okay, so hello everyone. Hope you guys are doing really good. So let me first set my system. Yeah, all is good. I think we are good to go. Okay. So in the last video, we have talked about the two pointers in the thesis series. Right. So today I want to talk about something different from that, and that's you're going to see again and again in the TSC, and that's for your sliding window. But there's a thing for that. I'm not going to give you some boring definition about the sliding window. Like sliding window is a technique which is used to process for sub arrays, sub strings efficiently. No, never. Forget that. I want you to actually see the core idea of the sliding window, like the core concept, the core scenes behind that. Like so, take a look at this. Like just let's say, just assume that this pen is our array. Yeah, I know that this is not an array, but just assume for me, right? Now, let's say I give you this array, like this is two, all right, this is four, right? This is one, right? This is six, this is three, and this is our five, right? So our array is like 2, 4, 1, 6, 3, and 5. Like you don't need to remember the array. I'm just giving you a scene for so that you can easily understand the concept. Yeah, right. So now, like I give you a very simple question for this, right? Like find the maximum sum of three consecutive elements. Okay, consecutive means 1, 2, 3, right? Not the alternate elements of the array, right? Okay. So let's try to solve it normally first, right? Uh, Normally means the usual process that we use to solve any specific problem, right? So I'm going to take the first three elements of this array, like 2, 4, 1, right? So now I'm going to ask you first this sum, like 2 plus 4 plus 1, and that is 7. It's okay, it's very simple. Now I'm going to move one position in this array, like this to this. And now we have 4, 1, 6. As we have said that we need only consecutive elements, right? So I will calculate again here. 4 plus 1 plus 6, and that's 11, right? That's correct, obviously. Then I'm going to move again. Yes. Now we have 1, 6, and 3, and that's 10. And again, we're gonna repeat this process again, right? So when I move one element, now we have 6, 3, 5, and that's 14. So, like maximum of this three consecutive element is 14, right? And this is very easy. But did you guys notice something here? You look what we have just did. What we have just did with this array. What operation we did with this, right? Now, like our first window was 2, 4, 1, right? And their sum is 7. Focus here. Here, focus here, right? Then we move to 4, 1, 6, right? Now I want you to think and ask yourself that did everything change or not? No, obviously, because only two things happened here. First is 2 left, right? And 6, there's the new element has just entered in the new sub array. That's it, right? So, yeah, why am I calculating 4 plus 1 plus 6 again from the scratch? Why? Ask yourself this question, why I'm doing this? Because because like I already know the previous sum of 416, and this like is where and oh sorry, I just look here. So as like I know the sum of the previous array, then why I need to recalculate the sum of the next sub array, right? And all these cases, we use sliding windows in the DSA concepts, and that's the core idea of the sliding window, right? Like it's a window means window, right? Window, right? And we are just sliding across the array. Now, watch how much easier this becomes, right? Like our first window is 241 and sum is 7. It's damn simple, right? Now I slide one step from this right, 416, right? Right, now two leaves and six just enters. So do I need to calculate 4 plus 1 plus 6 again? No, obviously, because I have the sum of the previous 7, right? And I already have their result as 7. So I can simply do like 7 minus 2 plus 6. That's it. And the result is 11. Boom, right? Now, now we are going with the new window. Now four leaves, right? Because our current sub array has 416, right? 416. Now four leaves and three enters, and three is our new element here. So I can do here 11, which is the sum of the previous sub array, right? And 11 minus 4 that just left plus 3. That's 10. Again, I'm going to do this like 1 leaves, 5 enters because 5 is the new element. So we can say 10 minus 1 plus 3, oh, sorry, plus 5, right? And that's 14. And that's our maximum. And there's the maximum value of the three consecutive element of this particular array, right? Now, I need you to focus here. Forget the number for a second. What did we actually do? We didn't keep recalculating the entire window, right? We simply kept just track of what we already knew. Like when something left, I removed it, right? And when something new entered in that array, I just added, right? And that's it. And that's the mindset I want you to remember in the whole DSA series, right? Because here's something maybe you will notice when you start solving more DSA problems. Like a lot of problems are not difficult because the math is difficult. They are difficult because we are doing like unnecessary work that we don't need to do, right? And that's exactly what happened here. We already calculate the sum of the part of the array, means the sub array, but we were about to calculate the same values again. And our sliding window concept says don't throw away your previous work, just maintain it, update it, and just move it. It's that simple, right? Now we have one more questions like how do I can recognize these questions can be solved with the help of sliding window or not. Now, how can we do it? Because I don't want you to memorize, oh, this is sliding window because Anand said. So, no, never. Don't ever think like that. I want you to recognize it yourself. So, like, whenever you see words like subarrays, substring, and consecutive elements, and continuous range, and maximum, minimum, longest, shortest, right? Because this is the core keyword that you can use to identify that which questions can be solved with the help of sliding window or not. And at that phase, your brain should start asking or thinking like, wait, I have just seen this keyword in this questions, then can I create a window here or not? And instead of just recalculating everything, can I just move this window like this to this, like just move the element, right? And if yes, then maybe sliding window might be the pattern you are looking for in that particular question. Now, we have how many subparts of the sliding window, right? And there's the one of the most important as well in this case. Sliding window is not always the same size. Sometimes I know said every time. Sometimes the window size is fixed, like our example, like find the maximum sum of the three consecutive elements for this array, right? And our window is always three, right? Always three, like move three, and move three, because we have the limitation of the fixed array condition, right? Simple. But sometimes like the windows can grow. Yes, I am serious about it. Suppose in some questions, maybe you can see that your window is growing and then it will shrink. Yeah. For example, yeah, find the longest substring without repeating characters. Let me see it again. Find the longest substring without repeating characters. Maybe everything is fine. So I will just keep expanding, and then suddenly, oops, I found a duplicate in the array. Means the same element exists twice or thrice in the same array. So now I need to shrink my window. Right, means this, right? And I'll just keep shrinking until the condition becomes valid again. And then I'll continue the whole process to solve that particular process. And there's the other common types of sliding window, and we call it fixed window or variable window that we just talked about, right? And the most important lessons that you can learn from this topics of this video particularly, uh, honestly, I would say the this is bigger than just sliding window. Like whenever you are solving any types of TSA problem from any particular topic, don't immediately ask like what we say which algorithm do I remember. Instead, you can ask yourself that am I doing the same work again and again, or can I reuse something that I have already calculated? And is there any continuous range here or not, or can I move it instead of starting over? And those questions are like how you start developing problem skills in yourself, right? So, the next time you see any kind of keywords in your DSA questions like subarray, substring, consecutive elements, or some continuous range, then don't just immediately start writing nested loops. First, make a window in your head, in your mind, right? And ask yourself first that can I slide this? Or instead of recalculating everything, if the answer is yes, then you must have just found your sliding window solution. And remember, always remember this, don't memorize the code. Never, ever. Don't memorize any code of any particular concepts in this. You just need to understand why the window moves, because once the thinking is clear in your head, the code becomes much easier for me. Trust me. And that's what we are doing in this series. Yeah. Like we are not just learning DSA or just solving problems or just typing the codes, but we are learning like how to think about the DSA, data structure and algorithms. And yep, this is all for now. And I'm gonna see you in the next video with the next new concepts and with the most easiest explanation as much as possible as I can. Right. So hopefully you guys got my point, and maybe you understand what uh, the core idea that we use and that all the developers and engineers use to develop their problem solving skills, right? So this is all for now, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Till then, just keep learning and just keep solving the more basic concepts. See you.